Gonna
Do you want
start
to 1.5
recording.
it?
Yeah, we should. So it's gonna be that. What's going on, you guys? We're doing the Arcane Duels League. I'm Coach Shade, and with me today is Puddnhead. What's going on, Puddin?
Hey, yo.
And
I'm excited because we are going to see a match between two normally 9 channeling mages, and now they're 10. We should probably hide that book.
I don't really know how to hide the book, but
Just click Jacksmack.
because of Shoopuff's replay. Yep, that's right. Okay, cool. So if you guys squinted close to your screen, you can now see what Shoopuff is planning. He's playing the Warlord, choosing to have a different skin. How fun is that?
The Bloodwave Warlord.
A Bloodwave Warlord, which is pretty cool, actually, nowadays. Now that we have the Warlord expansion out, really, I've seen both of the Warlords just kind of excel in a lot of ways, and I think this 10 channeling is actually going to push him further quite a bit more.
He is facing off against the Siren, who a lot of people
Jacksmack.
have said is not a very strong mage at this point. But maybe 10 channeling will help her out a little bit.
What I like about the first week of this league is that I think we only had 1 or 2 players that actually played a mage that was 10 channel. Everybody else played 9 channel mages, of course, being 10. And I actually dug that a lot. Oh, man.
What is going
Shoopuff.
on?
Double moving. Ballista. Turn 1. While Jacksmack does a Naya economy play with a Ring of Ocean's Depths. This puts Jacksmack on the back foot, needing to react to this Ballista. But he does have Naya out. And, with the extra channel, he's at 17 for this round. So, I mean, he's going to have the ability to do 2 attack spells if that helps at all.
Is that 2 attack spells on a ballista?
Yeah. Not saying it's,
He knew he was going to be playing a Warlord, right?
Yeah, he did.
So he had to have had some plan for ballista, right?
Right. I wonder if he thought it was just going to be like a build-up kind of thing, because right now spawn points are really popular, lots of creatures, especially with the ritual out.
Be interested to see if either of these guys paid attention to the Gen Con results, where Zot played a Bloodwave Warlord that did a rush build, kind of like this. He figured he's going to see a lot of ritual, a lot of build up, and so he played a aggressive in your face, pretty much turn 2, sort of a mage.
Yeah, he had this interesting play where he would try to get the lead early on, but not commit so much that he couldn't Battleforge later to get equipment. And I thought that was an interesting take on it. If I remember right, I could be forgetting those games, but
I honestly didn't see a whole lot of his games.
Okay. I remember he had some equipment out at some point and was just like, all right, I see what you're doing here.
I think Gear Up appeared every game for him, though.
Maybe it was Gear Up. Maybe it was Gear Up and not Battleforge. I don't know.
Well, you got to survive the counter rush, right?
Yeah.
I mean, one way to beat a rush is to do more damage.
Yeah, I mean, especially with Gear Up, where you can suddenly become super offensive or defensive, just because of the amount of equipment out there.
Jacksmack is a little flustered here.
Yeah.
Wearing the wrong enchantment.
So dealing with a rush is always difficult. When it's a ballista, it's probably one of the more difficult rushes to deal with properly, only because you have to deal with a 2 armor, 8 life, instead of just like spells that do damage now and then are gone. That being said, it wouldn't surprise me if Jacksmack had a wall, but that's not really his style. Usually what you see is he barely pulls something out in order to actually, like this right here, a blur.
Nice.
Great move, cost 2 mana, and now he's obscured.
And that is legal because it is not during an action.
Mm-hmm. He revealed it before. That's right. It's between. I love that, man. That's so freaking great. So the rules basically are,
Yeah. It can
um,
only work against conjurations.
yeah. So the rules basically are right now is that if you can't target your target anymore, then the attack just goes away. And so obscured obviously makes it so you can't target them anymore. So it's similar to like how teleport would work or something like that. It's really interesting, you know.
Well, clearly he wants Naya to stick around.
I would argue that Jacksmack probably took Blur specifically because he knew he was facing a Warlord, which I really dig that.
I bet Shoopuff was planning to Ballista and Boulder.
Oh, on Naya probably.
Yeah.
And now he's like, do I want to put this on the mage? That's actually kind of interesting. So if you reveal it, yeah, no. I agree with Jack here. I don't think you can. Um,
Because he reveals it during an attack
yep.
sequence and the attack is canceled.
It is kind of an unusual thing, and you kind of only see this sort of thing on Octagon because it's promo.
Yeah.
They're checking the codex,
And this
so
is one reason why a lot of people rail against Blur. I think it's too cheap for what it does, and it can interrupt stuff like ballista
yeah,
attacks.
as long as you don't reserve it and start paying mana, I think it's fine. But I hear you on that, like because the cost is on the other end, where it's like immediately when you start getting hit with melee attacks, it's probably going to be too costly to keep. Um, I don't know, like
Well, a lot of people say it's too cheap for what it does. I mean, Cloak of
yeah, I hear you.
Shadows does the same thing. What it costs 6, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's
I mean,
restricted to
it's
Dark Mage only.
so yeah. I mean, I guess like how much mana would you be willing, or like I guess it's situational, but like when it comes to keeping Blur around, would you want to keep it around after you start getting into a melee range more?
Oh, I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people who use Blur
Yeah.
do. When they're in melee range, you don't keep it anymore
So I
because it's
guess is
worth.
Cloak of Shadows only useful in that same sense? It's like because
Cloak
like
of Shadows. See, I've seen
yeah,
Cloak of Shadows work a lot better
yeah,
um, than Blur, but not necessarily. Yeah, I don't know. That's
yeah.
quite.
Right. I hear you on that. Okay, I'm actually gonna switch to the next event just because I want this conversation to be resolved.
I think they're about to go.
Yeah, Naya's gonna use her action. I really like the Blair Miller. He's gonna okay. Wow, Echo of the
He's
Depths.
doubling down on his economy play. Wow.
um, I'm impressed. This takes some serious grit to be like, you know what? We're gonna keep going with it. We're gonna succeed. We're probably gonna see some creatures popping up and just starting
Ooh,
to try to overwhelm.
maybe. It's weird because
Shootpuff's gonna gear up.
that's good. Europe is good.
hmm So
Um,
solid
the
move. Yep.
the Siren is moving up, probably to take the heat off of Naya. But if that shell gets dissolved next turn,
Yeah. Right. So I could see getting creatures out and basically overwhelming Shootpuff. Um, because Shoopuff might be able to keep up with killing Deptones or something like that, but that's going to be so many actions that Naya's going to be able to get an advantage.
yeah, I really like super economy Siren,
Yeah,
but it is hard to do.
I think it's the way to play her as well. But man, learning how to counter that early stage, like I love the way Jacksmack did it with Blur. Like, this is probably like a textbook, super solid way of doing it. It's not textbook because you don't see it. It's just a mark of a good player right here. Um, which, he is a tournament winner in an ADMW. So, you know.
Because ADMWs aren't the big tournaments.
Clearly not. We don't have the
Well,
best
nobody's
players in the
won German
world.
nationals with a Siren. Well, let me just put it that way.
Oh, man.
I
Is
think that
anybody...
is actually the biggest tournament in the world right now.
Probably, yeah. Well, they're going to start prepping, so I'm actually going to skip ahead here. If you want to follow what I'm doing with the screen share we have. Planning phase, skip past this. Nabmaster joins. What's up, Nabmaster? Glad you're in this game. Deployment. Okay, let's see. So he chooses not to deploy anything.
Interesting.
Whoa. I'm going to speed this back up to 1.5, by the way.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so we have Shoopuff enchanting his mage. So we're dealing with a hyper enchant warlord right now. Hyper enchant, I guess, with equipment because
Hyper equipment warlord.
hyper buff solo warlord. How about that?
It seems pretty solo right now. Yeah.
He could still cast like a bridge troll, I guess. It's not completely out of the realm. Are we gonna see a crumble?
Oh,
We see a
damn.
crumble, so he doesn't have to target the mage, so he doesn't have to pay the 2 from Harshforge. And Armor Ward comes out. No way. Crumble gives 2 back. Oh, okay. So he just
Yeah.
minus 2
No,
because
he
it's
paid the
4.
4 and
Yeah,
then he got his 2 back.
he
They
would have
just
had
did-
it all. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And I like how Jacksmack, he prepped for that. He had the extra mana. Whether that was by choice or not, we're going to say it is because it's Jacksmack, man.
He's gonna back up.
We
Back up chant.
and of course I went my mouse with over it, so you all know what it is. But Ring of Tides comes out on the Siren. This is what I like Naya for. She's really good at just buffing the Siren and then supporting around. Whether it's like, I need an acid ball here. Naya, just cast it for me. Or, give me my weapon, Naya. She's like the squire of Mage Wars in a lot of ways, where she just completely supports the mage in anything that needs to be done. All right, Echo channels another thing.
Sing this song for me, Naya.
Sing this song.
Sing me the song of my people.
Drive my enemies into a rage with a song. Ballista's now armed and ready. We didn't see a move out of Jacksmack's mage. I don't know. Oh, because we had a crumble. That's why.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah, he couldn't move. Although a turn or quick cast lesser teleport would be pretty hilarious.
Oh, yeah. I mean, anything to do with this Ballista. I feel like Shoopuff is kind of like nervous about this, but how do you feel?
I think he doesn't want to take damage.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So he's backed up a little bit just in case damage was coming so
Yeah.
they can get his armor back on. But I think he's still prepping to... Okay, so Bloodwave Warlord with the halberd, with the helmet, and then, of course, we saw a Hawkeye.
Yep.
Right? So
Yep.
I am willing to bet that he's just planning to throw 7 dice rocks for the rest of the game.
7 dice rocks, and if he has the opportunity, probably just hit him with melee because, you have 5 dice melee, I think, right now, piercing 1.
Yep. 7 dice rocks, 5 dice melee,
with the
ballista
chance
shot. Right?
of
He's
charge.
planning to just beat down the Siren, I think.
Because if he gets the charge, it's 6 dice then. And he might have bear strengths waiting. Who knows? That being said, we're into deployment. Nothing gets deployed again. Wow. That means Jacksmack probably needs his mana for something. Giant bolt going to the Siren. 4 damage going through. Strategist helm gets used.
Okay, so he's going to give himself what? Range +1.
Here
yep.
we go.
Here it comes.
You called it.
Going to be a rock.
The Hawkeye does get revealed. So we're dealing with a 6-7 dice rock.
Yep,
9
7
up
dice.
days. Dealing 7
7
damage.
damage.
No armor. This is getting dangerous, man. Here we go. This
Here
game can end
comes.
quick. Just to
Yep,
note,
2 hurl rocks.
Shoopuff is also a really good player.
Got a
So
little bit less than average that time, but still 6 damage.
6
That
damage.
is a half-dead Siren right now.
Holy cow, man. And the Shallow Sea is coming out. And a Bear Strength. We're going to see the Retaliatory just like, I'm going to punch you in the face and then regen some. No armor is on this Warlord, so we're looking at a 4, 5, 6 die attack against no armor. All right.
What do we got there?
6
Oh, he's still
dice.
populating dice. Holy cow. That was
Oh,
an 11 damage hit out of 6 dice.
Yeah, take that damage. That was sweet, man. Naya is, of course, going to join the fight, bringing her up to 4 dice, and that's going to cause Shoopuff to have to retreat, which he probably won't care. Only
He
because...
wants to retreat anyway. He doesn't want to be in that Chelsea.
Exactly. So Shoopuff's going to be
But,
at 11.
I mean,
yeah.
If he doesn't, I think if Jacksmack doesn't heal himself this turn, he might be in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Boulder and a rock into a boulder upkeep, or not upkeep, but next round.
Yeah, well, he's got 18. Shoopuff has 18 mana right now.
Mm-hmm.
He could double boulder. Real easy.
Whether or not that extra channel.
That's an average of 14 damage just base.
That's crazy, man.
Not including the Hawkeye and the Battle Order.
And Jacksmack's looking at 13 mana, 3 on Naya because she got that extra channel because of the sea. So that means that I don't think Jacksmack is going to summon anything. I think, honestly, he
I
needs
think
to...
that shell was a super mistake.
I agree.
In this situation,
I agree.
it just looks like that shell should have been any armor,
Which,
any armor at all.
I was saying he had some grit when he cast that because I was like, this is staring into death. But, game's not over yet. Let's see what happens. He might have just cast that to be like, if I can survive, this will just have me win.
True, but it's 12 mana.
Overall, he's looking at 13 plus 3 on the shell, so 16 plus 3 on Naya, so 19. He could still cast something small, I guess.
I think he quick casts a heal, has Naya give him armor, and then maybe cast some more armor. I don't know.
I could see that.
It seems, he's got 13, 3, 12. He only has 1 mana after that, so that's not going to work. Maybe a minor heal.
I definitely think armor is a good idea. Although, it's going to save you, what, like 6 attacks? Well, he's probably got like 6 attacks until he's dead with 2 armor. Maybe less.
Well, he needs to get up to 4 as fast as he can.
Yeah, 4 is kind of that ideal point to be at.
4 with a healing madrigal is what he needs right now.
I mean, since he knows he's dealing with 7 die rocks, ideally you have an armor for everything, but that's really tough to do. The pillar comes out. Okay, that's actually an interesting play. So he's going to rely on a daze here.
Yeah, you don't cast pillar for days. You just don't.
He did get the daze.
Oh my gosh. Well, I guess it worked, but still. Pillar has a 1 in 6 chance to daze.
Oh, he's going to teleport away. Whoa.
Well, he knows he doesn't have any armor on.
That was really risky. Right? That was like super risky, man. To get a daze out of that. Are we going to play No, we're not going to play a teleport war game. Yeah, we're just going to see some punching on this. Nothing got cast to the shell, by the way, because he needed that mana.
Yeah.
I don't know if I agree with this.
Naya should give him armor.
Oh, he forgot to deploy. He's wasted today. Way to go, Jack. We do see a steep hill goes up. That's going to give an additional range +1.
Here comes boulders.
No way. No way, dude. I actually don't know who wins this, by the way, so I'm just enjoying this game.
This is looking really bad for Jacksmack right now. He needed to put some armor on this turn.
Man. So regardless of what would have happened, Shoopuff was going to run away. We might see some teleports. This could be a teleport war. which that would actually be pretty entertaining right about now.
Shoopuff doesn't need to teleport anymore.
I mean, like Jacksmack could teleport him into the zone, stuff like that, you know?
Sure, but then he just gets a boulder to the face.
Yeah,
He
that's
has
true.
no armor on.
He's relying on the 1 in 6 chance, man.
That's not a good idea.
What is it? 1 in 6 and then like 1 in 3, I think it is, or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh man, I might have looked at Shoopuff's cards.
I didn't see it.
You guys. um, yeah, Jacksmack said he messed up not casting that minion, and
I don't think any minion would have saved him anyway.
honestly, yeah, having this mana is probably going to be really helpful right now.
Is he going to deploy this turn?
5 mana on Naya.
That snake's not going to help
Okay,
anything.
I actually like the snake, but it's too late.
I guess the rot would have helped him against the Warlord, but
that's the only reason why you do it. Here we go. He can. Can you do this during quick cast? Yeah.
No, you can't do that. You don't have priority during quick cast.
Yeah, this is an illegal move right here. Well, he got 13 damage out of that. Yeah. So for anyone that wants to reference it, priority is an academy. I think Force Master on is when they start doing priority.
Yeah.
And it's basically when it's before or after a main action, or an action, not a quick cast action. You can do that. So, you know, it would have been 1 less die. He got 13, so maybe it would have been 11. I don't know, you know?
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened during quick cast.
Yeah. I'm not sure that really affects this game. It depends how this plays out. So let's see what Jacksmack has here. I mean, if he has a teleport, he doesn't want to teleport in the zone because he's just gonna get smacked.
Melee attack him, yeah.
Jack's just gonna get
2
smacked.
health left.
Well, let's see what we got here. We do see an enchantment in the Siren. That's probably I mean,
if it's a block, that would be great.
Nothing gets revealed yet. Okay, this is enough damage to kill. He needs a brace yourself to not die here.
5 attack dice acid
I
ball.
know. That's so ridiculous. All right. That's game.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
5 die acid ball for the win. Well,
so funny.
That was a game.
That was a dice fest.
Yeah, fast and hardcore. I think that definitely the shell, I can understand casting it, but I think you should have just avoided that, gotten something else.
Can we go back to that turn and see how much mana he had that turn?
Yeah, actually, let's do it. Let's see, where was that turn? Times 50, replay, go, 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 go. So this, yeah, so.
This would be a hit turn, right?
Yeah.
17 mana?
Yeah, it looks like 17. Whoa, I'm sorry, guys. It's going crazy. Okay, I'm going to pause it. And let's channel. Get through channeling.
Oh, but he had Naya cast it, right?
Yeah, he did. Which, when you're at 9 channel, that's the...
Oh.
Yep, sorry. I am terrible with this replay, guys. We're going to say that that's what it is. Oh my god.
So he had 1 mana on Naya and 17 on the Siren.
Mm-hmm.
So he couldn't cast something huge. But
I don't think
17, if he gets, at this point, if he gets himself Levy Scale and Rhino Hide this turn, that's only 10 mana out of his 17 if he has Naya cast the Scale Armor.
So he
could
could
totally have. And then
Yeah.
he could have pre-prepped like a Aegis or
Yep. Oh
um
man, Aegis would have been so good.
well, I mean it's only taken one die off.
Yeah. Okay. It
Be-
would have been so. It would have been decent. I'm sorry. This replay is all messed up. Yeah. I mean, it's tough, man, because I like the blur opening. That really paid off well for him. Um,
I
I
think the
just
best
feel
part
like.
about the blur opening is it keeps his Naya alive for
Hmm.
one ballista shot, but also it's cheap, so he didn't actually spend a lot of mana on it.
Yeah.
And you need that mana to get your defenses up so that your economy can pay off.
It's just he didn't know how to deal with the rocks and boulders. And that's just one of those standard plays against warlords that it's going to happen. Most warlords take boulders and rocks just to say, I want the opportunity to do it. So,
Now, granted, Shoopuff's book was highly calibrated to throw a lot of rocks and boulders.
5 dice acid balls? Are you kidding me, man? That's so
But I mean,
ridiculous. Yeah.
even then though, you really should be prepping armor, I think, at that
Yeah.
point. Armor and regen of some kind.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Um yeah. I don't know. I don't know what Jacksmack brought with him, but we probably shouldn't look at it. But
Whatever. Jacksack can share it. I'm going to stop the replay here. But hope you guys really enjoy this game because I actually really enjoyed it. It was pretty fast paced. Um, we're gonna
now, did
be
you notice
yeah.
anything during that game where if they hadn't had 10 channeling, they wouldn't have been able to do it?
I think it was all no. I think honestly it was all just it was fine. Like it would have just played out the same way. Oh wait, Crumble, right?
Crumble, yeah, he used up all of his mana
Yeah.
on Crumble
So
that one
literally
turn.
that was the play there that mattered here.
But honestly, if he hadn't cast the shell, he would have had
Yeah.
more mana.
So I mean it did affect it, didn't affect it. So I agree with the shell. It was too much. Like it was just too much economy just to
Yeah.
kind of die to attack
The
spells.
shell is so tempting though. I totally
What's
get it.
That's the thing about armor is like it's really important before you start taking damage. And when you see a
Right.
ballista in your face, you kind of just have to start playing with either armor or start doing reverse attack block shenanigans and stuff. Or just return the dice.
Reverse attack would have been fun.
I would have loved that too.
Especially that 13 damage boulder. Reverse attack would have been super fun.
Well, I am going to stop the recording here. Puddin, thank you so much for joining this game.
Yup.
I'm liking the games I've seen so far in the league. We're gonna try and do at least one game a week, but I'm hoping to do more. We'll have to wait and see. But just keep watching our YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to us, check us out. I'll also just post it on Discord and the Arcane Wonders forum site whenever we get new videos under the Arcane Duels League Season 2 thread.
Yeah.
You got any last words, Puddin?
Nah.
All right.